Welcome all to the weekly outlook. Boone here from EWPRO. Starting with the DXY on the daily, nothing's really changed. That we do have a couple of scenarios here. This is either the end of wave C here, but like I've been mentioning, I'm looking at something more complex now, possibly an A, B, C in here, or even 5 down in here for an A, B, C, or what I've been going over the last month or more as an A, B, C, and then we get an A, B, C, some sort of a larger correction before we get that A, B, C. This has been looking very bearish, like I've been mentioning for the last few months. And we have got that move down. We got the 3 up in here, that A, B, C. Didn't quite get to that 100 pip. Then we got this A, B, C in here. I'm more inclined to think this will be a W, X, Y, X2, and a Z down. More motive. So at this stage, if you're not in it already, you have to wait. You got to wait for a correction, and you may be waiting for a little while. Yeah, we got down to that 123.6. So you'd be waiting for the X2 in here, similar size correction to this over here, and then you'd be looking for that wave Z down. AU, nothing's changed since last week. On the daily, there's a few different scenarios. Seeing this may turn a little bit more corrective in here, but it's starting to go now, which is good. We're looking at the lower time frames for a direction, like I've been mentioning. We got those 3 up in here, correction, and now we're getting WX. We're getting this wave Y. I'll be looking for an X2 and then a wave Z up, possibly going breaking that top. On the H1, it's more of a H1 where we'll be looking at it. You'd be waiting for a correction. Like this in here may not be over yet. You'd be waiting for this wave in here to be over and then waiting for that correction. Similar size to correction to that over here. And then you'd be looking for that wave Z up. So you may, if you're not already in the trades, you're pretty much sitting on the sideline waiting for that X2 or wave 4, whichever way you look at it. GU, it's broken out on the daily. Like I've been mentioning, this has been looking very much bullish for a very long time. Like I've been saying, it's finally broken out. I was looking for another one down in here. But if you get any buy set up, you can look for it. Like I've mentioned. So it's already broken out. So basically now we're looking at a motive structure in here. But just remove these now. So we're now looking at this motive structure here. You're waiting for that X2. So I usually wait for a retracement to at least a 38.2 retracement. So basically the same as AU. We're waiting for a retracement here. We're waiting for this wave Y to end, get a retracement, and then we look for that wave Z. EU, we're looking for this buy in here. Put this idea out here on TradingView. if you follow me on TradingView, you may have got a trade on this. It's nearly up to that first target. I wouldn't be surprised if we get up to this second target, that 161.8, and this turns motive like it did on the GU. So basically in here, I'm just looking for that A, B, C, like I've mentioned. And yeah, on the H4, we got the 3 up. There's no bearish divergence. I'll be looking for more upside. If you're in this trade, you'd definitely be at break even by now. Again, there's not much to do now. If you're not in the trade already, well, you've missed the trade. You have to wait for another setup. NU, I was sort of looking for another one down in here. Unfortunately, this didn't go and break that low, and I was looking for an A, B, C in here to finish off this C wave for the A, B, C. We got all the we got the 5 waves up in here. Then we got 5 waves down in here as well. This was very slow, and it still does look very slow. It looks very corrective still to me. And we're getting like a W, X, Y, X2, and a Z up. Like I've mentioned last couple of weeks, we get this bull hidden in here, and then we go up and break the top, and that's exactly what's happened basically. But now, you don't want to be getting in. You should be in it. If you trade this pair, you should be in it already, down here somewhere. This does look corrective, like I mentioned, so we may get like an A, a B, and a C in here before we get a larger A, B, C. H1, there really isn't much. We've got that wave Z up. Actually, we haven't got that wave Z up yet. It hasn't quite broken this ending point of wave Y, but I dare say it will. Whether you want to trade, well, you can't. There is no buy set up on it. Simple as that. You got a bull hidden in here. You possibly could give a go if you went down right down onto the lower time frames just to go and break that top. UY on the daily. We're just looking for sells on this, like I've mentioned. Just looking for sells. We're right at the top of the market. We got the 5 up on the H4. We got that W, X, Y, X2, and the Z up to the second target. We're only looking for sells. Last week there wasn't a sell on it at the time of doing the recording with these free weekly outlooks. But yeah, this is looking more bullish now. So we get an A, B, C up in here before we get more downside, more than likely. Yeah. USD Japan. This one here, I mean, I would have really liked this to go and break the top. We'll break both the tops. And I was still going to call this a B wave, like I've mentioned many times before, if you follow me. And then I'm looking for an A, B, C. The problem now is that this wave here has not gone and broke that top. It's still a sell. We're only looking for sells. We're right at the top of the market, but there wasn't really a sell on it last week when I'd done the weekly outlook again, because this was looking very much bullish. It never broke out. Instead, it fell over. So, on this one, you can look for a flag or a little correction to sell. you'd be waiting for what I'd be waiting for is a correction in here, a bear hidden divergence, and then I'd be looking for a sell. Again, if you're not sure how to trade these hidden divergences, by all means join the group. You definitely will learn a lot in my classes. USD CAD. So this has been a mess in here for a very long time. It's more on the H4, what we're looking at. I was looking for this flat. Like we got the 5 up in here, then an A, a B, and a C as that expanding flat. So I was looking for this to go up and at least break the ending point of this wave Z here. I don't think it's done that yet. No, it hasn't gone anywhere near the ending point of that wave Z. This is very choppy in here. Like I said last week, there's not much you can do. It's bearish. We're getting all that bearish divergence. Now you definitely can look for a sell. On the lower time frames. So, I mean, this isn't the best example because, we got one down. Well, we got a WXY. So we'll be looking for an X2 and then you look for that wave Z down. So you have to wait for this correction. And more than likely, we will get a bear hidden in here. If we get a bear hidden, I can't really go into it any more than that, than the bear hidden. But you get the bear hidden, the bear set up, well, then you could look for that wave Z down. The Swissy on the daily. The daily's looking really good. We got to bounce off that trend line. We got that A, B, C, the bullish divergence. Everything was nice there. We got a nice impulse up in here. We started to get bearish divergence. We got that bearish divergence between the two tops. Now it's a sell. We look for the sell. It may or may not go and break that low. If we go down to the H1, we're sort of looking for, well, the same as USD CAD. We're looking for that X2, like a WXY. Wait for that X2 and then look for that wave Z down. Again, I'd be waiting for some sort of a bear hidden or something here, a continuation pattern before we look for any more sells. EG on the daily. I've been going over this for a very long time, months and months and months, probably years. But we got A, B, and extended wave C. So we got this WXY, X2, and we're looking for that wave Z down. This wave Z down is still going by the look of it. I was sort of looking for a possible flat in here during the week. But it's fallen over. Ideally, it comes down, breaks that low. Then we get a nice impulse up, a correction, and then we can all jump in the buys. Until this happens, until we get, an ending point and then a nice impulse, I wouldn't really be looking to sell this. We're at the low of the market. So, yeah, I'd just be looking for buys, and there is no buys on it at this stage. So I'd be just sitting on the sideline, waiting patiently for that buy setup, and it will come in the following weeks. WTI, I've gone over this many times before. I'm looking at this as a B wave, and then we get an A, B, C. May or may not go and break that low, and then we get that C up, like the A, B, C. This has been looking very bearish in here, like I've mentioned. So we do have the 3 up. So we have these 5 down in here. then an A, B, C, hit our target at the 100 fib. We're looking for that sell to at least go and break that low. Is there a sell setup? It's very choppy up the top here. It's going to be hard to get a sell set up on it. Yeah, it's more of a flat up in here. We got like 1, 2, 3 here, and then we get 1, 2, 3. May get a running or expanding flat in there, or maybe just a regular flat, and then we get like an A, B, C at the minimum. And more than likely this will turn motive, and we get 5 down. So if you do get any sell setups, I would be, looking for the sell, but I'd be waiting for a C up in here before I'd look for that sell down there. Unless you got something really nice on the lower time frames, you could scalp it, and if it really fell over it, well, you just get it to break even and hold it. But yeah, gold finally gone up to the first target on that weekly, so it's taken a long time, but on the weekly we got that like WXY X2, and we got that Z up to the first target, that 123.6. The second target is that 161.8. If you follow me for a long time, you would have seen this chart. I don't show the weekly chart every week, usually just a daily. But yeah, we're up to that first target on the weekly. You can, it's more on the lower time frames. I was just looking for here just an A, a B, and a C. Well, sorry, an A, B, C up to this 100 pip. It flew straight past that 100 pip, like I said last week. So I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes and breaks that top and even gets up to that target. Well, it did get up to that target. So now this is more, well, we had that bull hidden in here, in between these two lows here. That one didn't go, but it's gone up and broken the top now. So this is more of a like a WXY. So you got to wait for that X2, and we may be in consolidation for a long time, like we were here over here, and then we get a wave Z up, up to that second target, that 161.8 target up here. So yeah, you'd really be going down onto the lower time frames. Like many of the other pairs, you got to wait for a correction now. If you're not in it already, you have to wait for the correction. And more than likely, you'll get a bull hidden in here, and then you'll get another buy to go up and break the top wherever this ends. Silver, we finally got this flat that I've been looking for. I've been waiting for this wave C up in here. I'm looking at this A, B, C. It never went here, but now we have 5 up. If I go down to the lower time frames, you'll see what I'm looking at here. I mean, I've been looking for this flat, for this A, B, C. It never went here. And now we've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. We don't have any bearish divergence, so it is quite risky to sell, for this possible A, B, C. It's more of a buy, but you got to wait for a correction. You have to wait for a correction before you can look for a buy. I mean, this is very tricky. We could look at this as a flat here too, like an A, B, C in here, and then you get a WXY. So you'd be waiting for that X2 and a wave Z up. At this stage, there really isn't much on it. We're getting bearish divergence, so if anything, you'd be looking for a short scalp into the correction, or possibly it does give us that C down. I wouldn't be, betting on this wave C down, because we don't have any bearish divergence in here on the H4. So yeah, it becomes tricky. But yeah, if you get a sell set up, you definitely can look for sell. And if it really falls over on you, you get that wave C down. Bitcoin on the daily, we're just waiting for that retracement, you know. I should take that off. So there's nothing you can do on this. If you're not in the buy already, you can't be buying up here, you know. So on the H4, we did get we were looking for the fifth up. We're looking at that WXY, X2, and I was just looking for a wave 5 up. Instead, you know, the wave 5's really taken off. So, you know, again, if you're in this, I would just keep half of it, you know, if you aren't already out of it all, of course, because you never know how far this is going to go. But at this stage, we really need a correction, you know, before you can look to add to your trade or buy. We got like an A, B, C up in here, just breaking that top. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a flat here, like an A, B, C, as a larger flat. And then if you got a buy set up, well, then you could look for a buy. It's more of a scalp because we're at the top of the market, but, you know, a scalp to go and break the top again. At this stage, I'd be looking for a sell, if there's any sells on it. There's no real sells on it, but yeah, unfortunately, you know, we did get a nice impulse down here. If we just got a bearish flag here, you could have sold for that wave C down, or even a larger correction, but that never happened. So you got to wait for a nice setup before you look for a sell, especially if you're looking for the sell, because you'll be selling into a correction. So you want to make sure that you get a nice entry to sell into that correction. Make sure the upside's over and you are actually starting to get that correction. SPX on the daily, nothing's changed. You know, we're just waiting for a sell. Basically, we got that WXY, X2. We're looking for that Z up. We got the Z up, but again, we lost all the bearish divergence in that wave Z, and so now I'm just waiting for a larger correction before we get more upside. So again, we're at the top of the market, so I'm just looking for sells. I'm not interested in buying up here. H4, you know, we got all that bearish divergence. You know, it's only a matter of time before this falls over. But yeah, it's just continuously going up. Again, I mean, if you went down to the M15, you could look for a correction in here. If you got a correction in here, you could look for at least a C down. And if you're lucky, you know, you get a larger correction, like a daily correction. But yeah, at this stage, I'd really only be looking for sells. And on the M15, you can only look for a sell. But yeah, yeah, you got to wait for a setup, nice setup to sell. AU 200, again, this one's just about at a target. We're looking at this like A, B, C here. It's just about got up to that, excuse me, it's just about got up to that 100 pip. So this has worked out really well. Got a really nice ABC here. We don't have any bearish divergence, so this can keep on going. This may even keep on going up to this 161.8, that second target. You got to wait for a larger correction before you look for any more buys, though. The H4, you know, we got the 5 up. We got that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. Another correction. And we're sort of getting 1, 2, 3 up in here. We are getting a lot more bearish divergence now too. So again, you know, I believe this is starting to come to an end, but again, there's no sell setups on it, you know, at this stage. What we'd be looking for, what I'd be looking for is a nice impulse down, breaking this low here. My pen's not playing nicely. I'll be looking for, Oh. We're looking for a nice impulse down, breaking that low and then giving us a correction. And then you could look for a sell. The FTSE, again, I would be staying out of this. Extremely, we're still within this impulse here. So this can be like an A, B, C for upside, or it can be for downside, like an A, B, C. So there is no real clear direction on this. They can give us a C down in here for like an A, B, C, and then give us an A, B, C. Or it can just keep on going up here for the A, B, C. This is very corrective. I'd be looking for more downside, if anything, looking at the daily chart. But yeah, you're just scalping this. It looks like must have been looking for a buy in here for the. It never went, and that's what I mean. I would be staying out of this. There really isn't anything to trade. Like it's gambling, if anything, unless you're scalping it on a 1 minute chart or something. But at this stage, it's a buy. On the H1, it's a buy. We have a ball hidden in here, so if you got a buy set up, you could look to scalp just to break that top, but that's about it. You're really only scalping. And lastly, the DAX. This has really taken off. So I mean, technically, we're looking for that A, B, C, and then we were looking for that A, B, C. We got this C down in here. It didn't go nowhere near as far as I thought it would. I thought we got a little bit more downside, but then we got that nice impulse up, that correction in there. You'd be still in that, or take a profit. But yeah, I might go over the weekly chart next week or something on this. Yeah, on the H4 we got bearish divergence, so something on the H1 we got bearish divergence as well. I'd be waiting for a nice impulse down, breaking this low, and giving us a sell set up for at least an A, B, C. Yeah, I wouldn't be buying. We got all that bearish divergence, so there's no way I'd be buying up here. So I hope you enjoyed the weekly outlook. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you out there next week.